Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you might just shake up the entire NFC West and send shockwaves through the 49ers fan base. We've been hearing whispers from some pretty reliable sources in the league, namely Adam Schefter and Diana Rossini, that there's a potential blockbuster trade brewing that could see Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions' young and rising edge star, heading to San Francisco. Yeah, you heard that right. Hutchinson, a 24-year-old freak of nature on the edge, could be making his way to the Bay Area pretty soon, and if it happens, it might be one of the most impactful moves of the offseason so far. Let's break it down. The Detroit Lions, sitting at a solid 10-2 record, are facing some financial and strategic dilemmas. Following Jared Goff's recent extension, the Lions are reportedly about $22 million over the cap, which puts a lot of pressure on their roster management. They're also in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially on defense, where the numbers haven't quite matched their expectations. Detroit's pass rush has been underwhelming this season, with just 28 sacks total, definitely not what you'd expect from a team with playoff ambitions. Their run defense isn't much better, allowing an average of 125 yards per game, which ranks among the weaker in the league. And after a strong start, the odds for a deep playoff run have fallen from plus 600 to around plus 1,200, suggesting that the Lions are reevaluating their window and what they need to do to stay competitive. Now, Hutchinson himself is a game changer. The former Michigan standout has been nothing short of dominant when healthy. Coming into his second season, he's already amassed 25 sacks in his young career, with a breakout in 2025 featuring 15 tackles for loss, 40 combined pressures, and a sack total of 10-5, good enough to put him in the top 5 league-wide for sacks. His PFF grade hovers around 86.3, showing he's not just a flash in the pan, but a consistent force on the field. Even with a shoulder injury in Week 8, Hutchinson's impact was clear. Against the Vikings, he tallied 2 sacks and 6 pressures, and his overall win rate as an edge rusher is roughly 24%. That's elite stuff. He's also better than some established defensive linemen like Hargrave in terms of pressures per game, and compares favorably to the duo of Nick Bosa and his brother Joey, who are arguably the best pass-rushing tandem in the league right now. Detroit's strategy seems to be shifting. They're willing to let Hutchinson go, primarily because they need cap space to re-sign their key players, including receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's commanding around $25 million annually. Plus, Detroit's defensive rebuild is focusing more on young cornerbacks and other positions, rather than doubling down on a pass rush that, frankly, hasn't been enough this season. Their defense is giving up over 125 yards per game on the ground and over 20 points per game, which isn't going to cut it if they want to compete deep in the playoffs. This is where the 49ers come into play. San Francisco currently sits at 9-3 and is leading the NFC West with a 150-point edge over the rest of the division. Their defense, which has been historically dominant, has allowed just 27 points per game, an incredible feat considering the level of competition. The duo of Nick Bosa and his brother Joey is simply lethal, combining for 5 sacks so far and creating constant pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Imagine adding Hutchinson to that mix, an absolute game changer. The projections show that if Hutchinson joins the 49ers, the team's sack total could jump from around 28 to nearly 38, a massive boost that could elevate their pass rush to unprecedented heights. And let's not forget the ripple effects. The 49ers' run defense would tighten even further, dropping from allowing 118 yards per game to just around 92. Their secondary would benefit from the extra pressure, with more time for the secondary to lock down receivers and create turnovers. The team's third down defense could improve from 36.4% to about 25%, increasing their chances to get off the field and keep the offense on the field longer. Greenlaw, Warner, and the front four, Shanahan's relentless schemes, would all benefit from having a player like Hutchinson rushing from the edge. It's the kind of move that could turn a good team into a true Super Bowl contender. Now the trade scenario is interesting. Detroit would be willing to part with Hutchinson primarily for cap relief, using the draft picks to rebuild the roster, especially on the offensive line and in the secondary. They're also looking to create space for their upcoming free agents like St. Brown, while focusing on a more balanced team that can run the ball effectively and play tough defense. The Lions' odds for winning the Super Bowl have dipped to around plus 1,200, reflecting their cautious approach and questions about their defensive consistency. Moving Hutchinson, a cornerstone of their future, signals they're prioritizing their cap flexibility and overall team rebuild. For the 49ers, this is a golden opportunity. They're already a top-tier team, with a defense that's been among the best in the league, and adding Hutchinson would put them over the top. Their Super Bowl odds are already attractive at plus 450, but if they land Hutchinson, those odds could shorten significantly, possibly even dropping to plus 250 or better. The NFC is wide open, and the 49ers want to seize this moment. They're eyeing a deep playoff run, and with Hutchinson, they could make a real statement. The team's front office has always been aggressive when it comes to maximizing their Super Bowl window, and this potential move fits right into that philosophy. And looking ahead, the playoffs are shaping up to be a nail-biter. The NFC is stacked with talented teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and the resurging Seahawks, but the 49ers have the best combination of talent, coaching, and now, perhaps, even more firepower on defense. Their odds to win Super Bowl LXI have already improved from plus 450 to plus 250 with this news, and it's easy to see why. Hutchinson's addition could be the final piece needed to make them unstoppable. Of course, nothing is certain in the NFL until it happens, but all signs point to this being one of the most exciting potential moves in recent memory. The Lions might be seeding a future star in Hutchinson, because they understand that their championship window isn't wide open right now, and they need to make tough choices. Meanwhile, the 49ers are looking to capitalize on every opportunity, and bolstering their pass rush with someone like Hutchinson would be a statement of intent. So, what do you think, 49ers fans? Are we about to witness a game-changing trade that could define the franchise's future? Could Hutchinson be the missing piece that pushes us all the way to Lombardi number 7? I know I'm excited, and I've got my fingers crossed that this deal gets done. We've seen the 49ers make bold moves before, and honestly, this one could be the most electrifying yet. The NFC West is in for a wild ride, and if this trade becomes reality, it might just set the tone for the entire postseason. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking at the bigger picture, this move would not only boost the 49ers' Super Bowl chances, but also send a message across the league. The 49ers are still in their championship window, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to maximize their chances, whether that's through draft picks, free agency, or bold trades like this. With a defense anchored by Bosa, Greenlaw, Warner, and potentially Hutchinson, the team's identity as a defensive powerhouse would be reinforced. And don't forget, Shanahan's offense is already one of the most explosive in the league, with McCaffrey's versatility and the offensive line protecting Goff like a fortress. Adding Hutchinson would give them an extra gear, especially in clutch moments. Imagine the pressure on opposing quarterbacks in critical fourth quarters, sacks, forced turnovers, and a relentless pursuit that keeps offenses guessing. It's the kind of move that could tip the scales in the playoffs and give the 49ers that extra edge they've been craving all season. Now, let's talk about the implications for the NFC playoff picture. If the 49ers pull this off, they could leapfrog some of the current favorites. The Eagles and Cowboys are formidable, but the 49ers' upgraded pass rush and stout defense could make them the team to beat. Their odds to win the NFC would likely plummet from plus 150 to something much more favorable, and their Super Bowl odds would get a significant boost too. They'd be looking at a team that can both dominate in the trenches and execute Shanahan's high-powered offense with even more efficiency. And of course, all eyes will be on the draft picks involved. Detroit would be looking to recoup high selections in 2026, possibly 2 first-rounders, which they could use to bolster their offensive line, secondary, or even add more young talent to their roster. The Lions' strategy seems to be to build a balanced team capable of competing both now and in the future, even if that means parting with a future star like Hutchinson. It's a tough pill to swallow for Detroit fans, but in the NFL, sometimes you have to make these bold decisions to reset your trajectory. For the 49ers, though, this is more than just a move. It's a statement. It's about showing everyone that they're not content with just being contenders. They want to be champions. With a defense that's already elite, adding Hutchinson could elevate them into a league of their own. It's a move that could define a new era for the franchise, bringing Lombardi number 7 within reach and solidifying their status as a powerhouse for years to come. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all of this? Do you think Hutchinson will end up in red and gold? Are we about to see the 49ers make a move that future generations will be talking about? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. This offseason is heating up, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Keep the passion alive, and let's get ready for what might be one of the most exciting chapters in 49ers history.